let's just set this up, shall we? I think I'll go here, amount of distortion there, let's make it just a little bit brighter. Yeah, that was good. Dax, how are you?
Lovely to see you, Warren. Welcome to Puzzle Factory Sound Studios.
Thanks for having us.
Please come on in.
Lovely. I see it. Puzzle Factory Sound Studio, or Puzzle Sound Factory Studio.
Yeah, if you read it backwards, that's fine. You could read it upside down as well, I suppose. Come on through. Let me show you through down to Control Room 2 here.
Marvellous. Now, you built this yourself.
I did indeed, with these two hands right here. It took about 14 months of 6-7 days a week, but we got there in the end, and I'm very happy with how it all turned out.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Wow. Very nice indeed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, what can I tell you? So this console was custom built for the BBC. It had just been refurbished by the man who built it, Graham Blythe. And yeah, it came to us and we absolutely love it. We're very, very grateful for it. It's yeah, nice little thing. A few little mods, as you can see. Extra second monitor in there.
Wait, they didn't have this in 1986 or whatever.
Yeah, no, the 85. No, it was the year after they came out with LCD displays.
Great, the 8000 modular, so you can pull it out and.
Oh, and they sound great. You've got 4-band parametric EQs there. The preamps are really cool. I like them very much. It's a great sounding console, great sound console. And then we also have a whole lot of outboard pre's here. You'll probably note that most of the outboard gear here is preamps. That compressor is actually just that was sitting in another room. I thought, well, you know, might as well bung it in here, have it somewhere useful. But yeah, a whole range of different colours. That's my ethos with.
I know Palmer, but I've never seen this particular unit.
Yeah, so this is a DI box for guitar amps. So you can run a guitar amp at the speaker level through that, and you can capture it. It has some speaker emulation built into it, but you can also capture it just there's full range without any of that involved in it at all.
Well, I know the Palmer DI boxes themselves are legendary, but I didn't know there was a 19-inch rack mount.
Yes, yeah, and it's fantastic. It just sounds wonderful. And to be honest, even sometimes I will actually end up using the built-in speaker modeling in it. It's pretty good. Sometimes it's like, yep, that just does the job, just does it.
Marvellous TG2.
Yes, absolutely. The Abbey Road Special Edition. That one's gorgeous preamp. Underneath that's the Atlas Pro Audio Juggernaut Twin. Now this one's actually designed by Tim Farrant from Buzz Audio in New Zealand. Oh. Yeah, it's a great preamp. If I had to pick only one, if someone said you can only use one preamp, only one, yeah, I would be like, oh, that's disappointing, but it would definitely be this one, because this does everything from clean through to quite coloured. 2 separate input transformers, nickel and iron. Same thing with the output transformers, nickel and iron. There's a THD button, which basically puts a 10 dB pad on the output, so you can really drive the input. And then there's this nice fat button, which is a Pultec style low frequency boost. Wow. Yeah, it's great. And it's my favorite bass guitar DI ever. It's absolutely love it. It's gorgeous.
Never heard of them until now.
Yeah, that's Atlas Pro Audio, at least the name over in the States. They do a lot of there's the same level as a lot of those other boutique companies over there. So yeah.
Marvellous. And then what have we got going on over here?
So there's some RME. Love the RME stuff. It's solid. It's great. Yep. It's a little more expensive than the competition, but it lasts forever, and the driver support is there. I mean, I don't have the device anymore, but there's an audio interface. The first one I ever bought in like 2001. Yeah. And there are still current drivers for it for Windows and Mac, which is unheard of. It's 25 years ago, and you've still got full support for it. Headphone amp, I use this one just as an A to D converter. B-gauge patch bays for the mic lines, and TRS for all the line level stuff. Pendulum Audio MDP1. This is a 2-channel tube pre. This is like liquid silk. Like this is, it's all the things we love about tubes in the smooth sense, and a very modern sound to it as well. It's one of my favorites for tracking vocals, especially female vocals. ART, so tube. This one's quite coloured. It's funny. I hadn't thought you know, huge things of the brand. But Dirk Browner from Browner Microphones loves it. I saw something, and he was saying that online. He said, "Oh, I love this preamp." I thought, surely not. That guy can, you know, his mics are quite expensive. You know, surely he's using all sorts of things. And so I emailed him, and he said, no, really, and I'm not endorsed by them. I have no connection. I just love that preamp. So
My friend Ulrich Wild has racks of them.
you can push it. It's very cool. The Daking.
Oh, I love Jeff Daking. Yeah, great stuff.
Great device, that one. And then the Great River MP2NV. So that's, you've got that.
So you got a lot of you basically got a lot of flavors of mic pre.
That's it. So you'll, as you've noted, there's no outboard reverbs, there's no outboard compressors, EQs, any of that sort of thing. I've been proudly in the box for well over 20 years now, I guess. Right. And I mean, it started with the analog side of things, of course, but I've been proudly in the box for a long time now. But
you're not printing any compression?
No, that's it. So my ethos is to capture, my recording ethos is to capture everything as clean as possible. And it's getting the sound on the way in is about correct mic choice, correct positioning, and also making sure the instruments themselves are in a good state, you know, such as like a drum kit's tuned properly, it's, you know, it doesn't have dead skins on it, and, you know, things are maintained properly, basically. So, yeah.
Marvellous, yeah, that's good philosophy.
Yeah, you know, when we had this, cast your mind back to the horrible lockdown, right?
Yeah.
So there were the three main things that I made during that lockdown period. One of them was I made a whole bunch of these guitar pedals here, so this one, that one, and this one was very heavily modified, so I relabeled it. And also a power supply down there, which is a 12-volt SLA battery pack. So this will run a session for a whole day, probably two actually, and it's completely isolated. So you know that issue where you're recording guitars and you got it all right, it's great, and then the guitar's like, oh, by the way, just for this one little bit, can I just put my pedal in the chain? Sure. And you plug it up, you just get all that hum. Yeah. You don't get that with this because it's completely, there's no connection to ground. It's completely isolated. So
fantastic. So this is a subtle little on-off device here.
Yeah, so this is the sequenced power switcher, as I call it. So basically, you've got a set of relays inside there, and you're able to, when you press the buttons, it will turn things on in a certain order. So you know that thing that we all try to avoid, which is turn on something and then, you're in the wrong order, and boom, this big pop through the speakers, which can be quite dangerous, of course, to the speakers. This completely avoids that by just powering it up in order. There's a couple little ways I've done it. So if I'm just tracking, say, a vocal or something like that, it'll just pull up interface, computer, and amplifier, and a couple pre's. Yep. And if I'm doing anything more than that, it'll power up the console, all the rest of the pre's, and that's pushing the preamps button, funnily enough. And then the off button is, of course, underneath the cover, so it doesn't get accidentally pressed during a session, which would be a real shame. Another one of the things that I did during the lockdown is the microphone locker. Basically, I'd been wondering what I was going to do for a mic locker for quite some time when I was doing the build here. I was thinking, what am I going to do? And, you know, a normal sort of mic locker, you know, road case looking thing, wasn't really going to fit in with the vibe of the room. Yeah. And I thought, I'm thinking, and one day I was like, I know, I'm going to get a retro fridge, gut the whole thing, build this inside. And this is, like I said, one of the three big lockdown projects. There are a few smaller ones, but this is one of the big ones.
This is a man who believes in security.
Yeah. all sorts of toys, the usual suspects, and DPAs, Audio Technicas, all sorts of things, and my prized
piece de resistance,
Sound Deluxe 251.
Lovely.
By Mr. Bach himself.
Wonderful. A pair of Townsends.
Yeah, actually, we should grab one of those, and when we go into live room A, I'll show you a little thing a little trick that I do with these. So this is the BV300. There are two major Chinese microphone manufacturers, ISK and Alctron, okay. And they produce for many companies. Like you've probably got at least one Alctron mic in your locker without knowing it. Right. And a few years ago, they decided to set it themselves up as a retail brand as well. And they came out with a few microphones. This one was originally sold as an Avantone BV1, I think it was.
Sure.
It's a fantastic sounding mic. I used to own a Sony C800G in Australia. In a mixed context, it's very close. It's very, very close. It's a lovely open top end, quite bright but not harsh. Sits really nicely in a mix. Yeah, it's a great mic. And as you can feel...
Yeah, there's some weight to it.
Yeah. Alctron, A-L-C-T-R-O-N. Toneman have a few mics that are made by them that are rebranded under their own name as well. Some more down here. A lot of people don't realize that ribbons are actually best stored vertically, because if you store them horizontally, the ribbons can actually sag over time, affecting the frequency response. And yeah, so have them in there, just keep them vertically, and you've got them exactly where they need to be. Now these, another Alctron, so this is one he'd sent me, and I said, I love this mic, absolutely love it. I need two, I need a pair.
Right.
And he said, I can't get another one because it was just a sample. It's going to be at least 9 months till I get one. Ended up looking around, and I think maybe the person I got it from might have been, it was in the UK by that point, might have had it as a single sample as well. Awesome ribbon mic, active ribbon mic. Here's another secret for you, put it in front of guitar amps, done. Little bit of high-end boost if you need it, and you're done. It's it just sounds magic.
What are these? How much do these go for?
Like under 200, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing. A really, really great mic. Really great mic. And like I said, I loved it so much. I wanted a second one. So yeah. And then there's a couple others, including this. This is an old Film Industries M8.
Film Industries M8.
Yeah. Exactly.
The mate.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a British-made mic. When I got it, it came in a cardboard box, and the padding was straw. That's how old the mic was. Yeah, and then I had a friend turned this to fit the threads for the XLR and that, because otherwise it was a weird 3-pin connector, which wasn't very useful. Love it on brass. Occasionally guitar amp, but I think like since I got these ones here, I think the R77 they call them. I haven't, that's my go-to for it, to be honest. But like if I'm brass, trombone, trumpet, that sort of thing. This is the Cascade Vinjet, and this is the one with the Lundahl transformer in it. You can get them with and without. Amazingly broadband. Yeah, this one goes quite low and quite high. I remember I did a shootout with the Royal 121 and a couple other mics. And the Roy's got its sound. It's a great microphone, no doubts there. But the frequency range on this is actually wider in both directions. And it's a really cool mic. I'll often use this as a kit front mic.
I think we had a pair of these. I can't remember if it was this exact one, but it was like a maroon color, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a great mic, but SPLs wasn't too good with.
Yeah, this one's okay. This was not. I think that it's definitely. I mean, I wouldn't dare put high SPL with this one.
Yeah.
But those ones, the R77s are quite high. I mean, I have that in front of a kick drum.
I can believe it.
Not straight in front. It's like maybe 600 mil, something like that.
I think with ribbons, you just have to use logic, don't you?
Yeah.
Stick in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that. So what's this? An old tape deck mic, Philips one?
Exactly. That's it. It's somewhere like mid-60s, I think that one is. Cool mic. I actually discovered the other day. I often put it on drum kit. I found a new spot for it, kind of slightly under the kick drum, under the snare. Yeah. And it really brings out great attack on both of them. It just mix a little tiny bit of that in.
I like to mic that area there. And I put a cymbal on it and mic the reflection between the kick and the snare.
Ah, cool. A cymbal on the ground?
Yeah, put a cymbal on so you got kick, snare, maybe your hat's here, you put a cymbal here and then mic the reflected sound. Get it.
Definitely going to try that.
This might be doing for you automatically anyway, because it's probably got a narrower frequency response.
Yes, yeah, definitely, yeah. It's definitely a vintage sound, let's say that, yeah.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing.
And what do you got here with the small diaphragms?
So these are side addressed pencil condensers. These are the Audio Technica ATM 450. These are my tom mics. These are my go-to tom mics. Oh, lovely. Absolutely love them.
So they're dynamic?
No, they're condensers, side addressed condensers.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
I mean, I assumed they were condensers, but then...
Yeah, no, you were spot on, yeah. So not only do they sound great, but because of their the shape of them, their form factor, you can just kind of sneak them up over the edge of a drum as well, and it's not only is it a smaller target for a drummer to hit, but it's also, it allows you to get in pretty much anywhere, really. It's great. Yeah.
There's some fun mics in here, some Sennheisers.
Yeah, all sorts. So these ones, it's funny, these ones here were actually, they're like a talkback microphone. And it was one of these, when I was young, it was just, I think I bought it for maybe $10 or something in Australia, maybe a flea market, that sort of thing.
Sure.
And, you know, when you're young, you see a Sennheiser mic, like, wow, I'm going to buy that. And it turns out it's great on guitar. It's really cool on guitar. And then ended up getting, I came across a bunch of them, so like, oh, I'll just grab another one. So, yeah.
Audix
i5. This is my snare mic. You won't see any SM57s.
No 57s were harmed in your miking of your snare?
No. What I love about the i5 is that you get all of this top end from it, great crack, but it's not like, I mean, you can get a lot of top end if you put a condenser on a snare, obviously.
Sure.
But condenser on snare, too much dynamic range, you get
and too much bleed, yeah.
Exactly. Whereas this, you've got a lot of top end, but it's quite tight. Yeah. And yeah, it's a lovely sounding mic. Really, yeah. Since I discovered that one, I haven't used anything else on snare drum.
What's the kick? The D6, is it?
D6, yeah. D6 is a pretty popular kick mic. I find it's
a bit too hyped for you.
Got one sound. Like it's a great
boom and click.
If you want that sound, one mic you're done. It's perfect. It's great for that. Yeah. I find it's not versatile enough for what I'm doing generally. Yeah.
You're not using multiple kick mics and then blending them, or?
Yeah. Well, it'll be one in, one out. So it'll be yeah. I mean, I had been using for many years the this Bayer MC740 as an outside kick mic. This thing has so much low end. It's beautiful and very clear as well. And then since I discovered it was one day I was like, I'm just going to try this, try the R77 on the kick out, and they're like, I love this. There's something about the tone of it, the sound of it that I just love. So yeah.
What is this?
So that is an Antelope Verge, so that's a small diaphragm.
But Antelope Audio? Or
yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. I assumed it was because of the logo.
Right.
But
exactly, yep, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so, small diaphragm condenser, use it for a bunch of different things. It's part of their modeling system, but when I use it, I'll use it just as it is.
A whole bunch of Audio Technicas?
I love Audio Technica. Just the sound of the mics is so fantastic, and they're just, they're real workhorses.
I tried so hard in the US to turn people onto Audio Technicas.
And they just can't, they don't do a lot of advertising. They're not one of these companies who do lots and who spend lots.
Their headphones do great though.
Yeah, right. M50s, M40s.
Yeah, like the $50 headphones they make, you can't beat them by another company until you spend $150.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so good for the money.
Yeah.
But their mics are superb. Absolutely superb. Yeah. This is the 4050. I tell this story a lot. I think this is one of the best value for money microphones ever made. We were recording. We had one FET 47. And we were tracking an album without the bass player. And then when the bass player arrived, we wanted to keep tracking all together. And I'm sitting there going, well, I've got a 4050 and I've got a FET 47. What do I put on the Ampeg?
Yeah.
Because he had a flip top.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so I took the FET off, and I put it on the Ampeg, and I took the 4050 and put it on the front where the FET was. Pulled it up, went, it sounds better. I just spent like 3 weeks tracking with the FET 47 because that's the outside kick mic that everybody uses. This is a better mic for that.
Well, this is a really important thing to talk about, is that there are so many accepted norms, like, oh, you always use a 57 to mic a snare, and always use a 57 to mic a guitar amp. And I mean, as you kind of can see around the place, I like to do things a little bit differently, and it's not about following any kind of convention. If the convention works, I'll follow it. Sure. Like I'm not an anarchist, but just literally going with convention just for the sake of convention is, right. To me, not a way to do things. Just DIs and cables, boring stuff in there basically. The kick drum mic's here, so. This is the kick drum mic I use the most, the D12 VR. I've
never used the VR. I have a real D12, which I don't use as much as I probably could. What's the characteristics of this?
So the thing I love about this, you put it in a kick drum, and it's a kick drum. You hear it's like, that's a great kick drum sound. Yeah. What they've added with the VR here is they've put it. You can run it passive, or if you turn your phantom power on, it activates a 3-position EQ inside.
Low boost, low mid cut, and high boost. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great mic, and just being able to, you put it in the mic.
It's a D12, but it can also do this as well.
Yes, yeah. Well, actually, do you want a secret about the D112? So when I was young, I was just starting the studio, and I didn't really know enough about mic choices. So I went to the local music shop, and I said, I need some mics for drums. And he's like, okay, well, and kind of walked around the store like, you want one of these, you want one of these, and that. And the kick mic he pulled out was this one. And I was never happy with the sound I got, and I'd always assumed that it was just I just didn't know what I was doing with it at all. And maybe that was true when I first started, but I never got a sound out of it that I really liked. It ended up sitting in the mic cabinet for a long time. And one day I was like, right, I need to up my kick drum mic game. I need to do this. So I put together a little shootout of about 11 or 12 different kick mics. Did it with a mate of mine. Basically, when I was doing some research for that, and I'd gotten everything, including the Audio-Technica AE 2500, the one with the dual capsules, and I thought, fine, if I have to spend a whole ton of money to get a great kick sound, so what?
You buy it once. Yeah.
Exactly. And knowing it's Audio-Technica, it's going to last forever. And then in my research,
we are not sponsored by Audio-Technica. We're just both fans.
As you know, most microphones, the badge the badge is the front side of the mic. You've got the badge here. That's the front of the mic. Yep. This is the accepted kind of standard. Now, I was reading a thing where a guy was saying how he was never happy with his D112 either, and then one day I was like, it says AKG on this side, so maybe that's the front. And he turned it around. I was like, there it is. I've been using it wrong all this time. And then later found out, no, this is the front. It just happens to sound better backwards. Yeah, put it inside the kick drum. Obviously, flip your polarity around, and use the point this side towards the beater. It's really cool. It's a really cool sound, and that's why I still have it. That's why I still have it.
I mean, I've got good results with it, but it's in combination with other mics.
Yes, yeah.
If I was only to use one mic, I would use the Audix D6. If I was going to go for just like, it sounds like a kick drum, scooped out, low mid cut, boost, blah blah.
Yeah.
Put a D6 in there. Not that I do much metal. But this, I come in and then I point it at the beater. I never do it straight on because you get that first sound.
Yeah.
But then I always...
Well, maybe that's why I like it so much backwards.
Yeah, maybe it's the off-axis thing, yeah. I've never tried that. I'm going to try it.
Absolutely try it. It's a really cool way to get a bit of extra life out.
Beta?
Yep, Beta 52, everybody knows that. Standard, a staple. And this is the DPA 4055. So this is a condenser, but specifically designed for kick drum. Now, being that it's a DPA microphone, it is still very clean and very uncolored. I guess you'd say it's probably one of the more colored DPA mics, but it's still, in Danish terms, it's still very.
The stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah. It's a cool mic. I like them as well. I like being able to have a range of different things for different applications.
Were these before the other one? Were these your Tom mics before you?
No, actually, I got these relatively recently. This is the 2012s. I love them. They're great. The DPA 2012s. They're you can anywhere using a KM84, that sort of thing. So acoustic guitars, overheads, hi-hats, percussion.
I never got on with KM84s or 184s.
No, what never quite your flavour?
Never were until I did that drum shootout with Nolly. And Nolly was like using them in place. I was like, really? I was like, oh, actually, I was wrong.
Well, there you go. Unorthodox positioning, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you use these for then?
Piano, actually. If the part doesn't, if it's a piano part that's fitting into the song rather than a song that's written around the piano.
Sure.
So I don't generally want as much low end in that sort of thing. Sure. It's more of a mid-range, high sort of thing. Yep. These are beautiful for that. Right. Absolutely love them for that. And
quite logical.
Yeah, DPA makes some, as you know, some really lovely stuff as well. Stuff. A bunch of DPA 4099s. So these can be used as a drum clip-on. I use this is my snare under mic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, love it as a snare under mic. Pop it there. Make sure you position it such that the back of the capsule is rejecting the kick drum, so you get maximum snare under and minimum everything else. Yeah, and they also you've got as you probably know, there's a bunch of different attachments. So this is the cello bridge attachment. There's also a violin. There's also a violin attachment there, so they just fit straight on. And the thing that violinists love them because they've been designed very carefully to not damage the violin in any way, shape, or form. So Yeah,
nice and rubbery.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. But if you have a look carefully, if you can see the little shine in there. So it's actually they're metal. There's metal frame, so it's not going to snap out like a piece of plastic would over time. But then covered in the thick rubber like that. So you've it protects whatever you put.
And the light, so the violinist doesn't feel like they're.
Exactly. It's like once you've got it in place, it's basically like they don't have to think about it anymore. It's like it's not even there. Which, I mean, that's really the goal of when you're interacting with musicians, when you're miking them up, is to you don't want to be like, oh, I need you to move that, I need you to change the way you play so I can put a microphone on it. To me, that's not cool. You should be working at how you can work with their instrument and capture it in such a way that's not going to affect their performance. Because in the end, I love a great recording as much as the next guy or girl. I would much prefer to hear a great performance recorded badly than, a bad performance recorded really well. So
yeah, it's a story I always tell 100 times when I asked Jeff Emmerich why he used the D19. And he said, because it was plugged in. It's just like, it was ready to go. It was much better to just record that. Sometimes it was on an acoustic guitar, sometimes it was even on a vocal.
Yeah,
the idea was there. What are you going to do, tell a Beatle they can't? No, I need to go and check the mic locker and do a shootout.
Can you guys just put your inspiration on pause for a minute?
So Dax, tell us, what are these speakers?
So these are the Duntech Marquee. So these were made by an American guy named John Dunleavy, who's since passed away, I believe. He lived in Australia for many years, and it started.
Did you ship these from Australia?
I shipped everything. So my backstory is I'd run a studio in Australia for 15 years, and then I literally put my entire life in a shipping container, sent it to the other side of the planet to build this 1,900 square foot studio complex. So.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was fun. Bit hairy, bit scary sometimes, but it's been a nice journey.
Are these passive or active?
Yeah, these are passive. So they're a three-way 5-driver Diapolito array. So basically,
so that when you're drunk, Diapolito.
Yeah, so this is basically, it's mirrored from there. So you'll see things like Lipinski 707, 701s.
Sure.
I think they came out, it's like mid-90s or something, and John had been making these, I think, sometime from the 80s. And they just, a whole bunch of people heard them and loved them and ended up.
I want to hear them.
Yeah, well, we'll put something on. And at some point, at certain points, I mean, I think Master Disc had like 3 pairs. Sony Mastering had a couple pairs or something like that from memory in New York. And I can't remember the exact detail. I'm probably mixing them up. But these and we've got the big brothers of these in the next room.
What's powering? What power amp?
It's a Hypex 400 watt Class D amp. Yeah.
400 watt aside?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You were talking off camera about all these these fixtures that you made. Yeah. So you created this?
Yeah, so I as you can see, a bit of an Art Deco vibe in the room. I wanted to just kind of, I want this room, the whole idea of the entire studio is to be something that's a comfortable, inspiring space. I don't want it to be a sterile black box with a couple, blue fairy lights for vibe.
What?
And that was another thing, like having the natural light in every single room. So I tell you, it would have been much faster and cheaper to just, go straight over it. But that was one of the things that I really wanted in a space, was to have that natural light. Because you know what it's like, you go into a dark box in the morning, you come out, you're like, oh, what day is it? Yeah. So a few little things like this, like I couldn't find handles that I liked. I could, but they're like £100 each. And I'm not spending £500 on door handles, so I welded my own. Little coat rack here. You got yes, I got that, and just little things.
They're like puzzle pieces, aren't they?
Yeah, we're a little bit like sound waves, that sort of.
I was just thinking, name of the studio.
Yes, yeah, of course, and then just like little details, like
your little flash area.
Exactly. Yeah, so this is the air conditioning vent here, so the exhaust from the room.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
And you may notice, if we go quiet for a second, have a listen to how loud. This is the aircon running flat out. Yeah, it's
pretty darn cool.
Yeah,
literally. Put 'em ching.
And then a few other things. So, absorber there, and a nice big absorber on the back wall there as well.
It is all a little bit Flash Gordon now, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. If you have a look, there was quite a few Art Deco influences in that film.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. I'm a huge Queen fan, of course, and love that movie.
Great, yeah. There's a real camp aspect to it, but they did it really, really well. And so Brian Blessed, he's like,
so good.
It's brilliant. Just his character in that was just, it was like, I mean, he's brilliant.
And then Max von Sydow is Ming the Merciless.
Yes, yep. I like to play with things for a while before annihilation. Yeah.
What is this?
So this is the remote control for the Robo mic. So, well, I'll show it to you. I will set it up and I'll show it to you in the other room there.
Did you take a camera?
No, I built it all from scratch.
All from scratch,
including the control system. Yeah, the whole works. Yeah. So hook that up and then just move your mic back and forth, left and right. Position it exactly where you want. So it's that thing of when you've got a mic in front of a guitar cab and you're like, it's not quite right. You run to the other room, you move it a bit, you come back and you go, no, not quite right. You run back, you move it, and you come back in again. You're like, is that better or worse now? And then you back and forth. Whereas here, you just sit and just control it straight from there. Which is also why I have the pedals up here, which you would imagine is a gigging guitarist's nightmare. I mean, to play like this. But of course, when you're recording guitars, so when I record guitars, usually what I'll do is I'll have the guitarist in here with me. We'll bring in, when we go to Live Room A, you'll get to see some of the amps. I'll have them stacked up here. We'll pick a few. There's a device I've designed which allows me to switch between them, between the amps instantaneously. So one guitar in, switch between the amps, even with a remote control. And so you've got everything right here. You can make adjustments instead of, it's like, it's a bit too bright. You put your head down here to adjust it, and then you back up and say, whoa, that's too much. And you end up going back and forth. And it's, efficiency is very important to me in many ways. I take the time to do something right, but I don't want to take more time. If there's a faster way to do something, more efficient way to do something, that's always my ethos for it. So
amazing. I love the Distortion Plus.
Distortion Plus, it's such a classic. It's such a great
Telecaster Distortion Plus AC30, one of the best guitar sounds ever.
Absolutely. Do you know the DoD 250? Yeah, so it's a very similar circuit.
I was wondering where it said Dodo.
Yeah, reanimated Dodo. Yeah, the reanimated Dodo, I called it. So it's a DoD 250. It's the grey version of the pedal.
Oh, nice.
And they're they're similar schematically. They're very similar, but tonally, I have both of them for a reason, not just by pure chance. Like I built this one, and I was like, I'm just gonna. I think maybe a guitarist came in and had one of these. And I tried it out. I was like, tried it side by side. I got to buy one.
Yeah, you get one of these and you're like, where's this been my whole life? Why did I? Because nobody really talks about them.
And it's so simple, just distortion and output. There's no bunch of tone control switches, that sort of thing. And I don't mind tweaking if there's time, but if there's a time and a place for tweaking, I should say. If you can get a great sound with two knobs, or basically one knob and a volume compensation, it's great. And then this one's kind of the opposite end of things. This is based on a Timmy pedal. I built this one's based on a Timmy pedal, and it's I call it the Timothy because it's got a bunch of extra stuff added to it. So you've got this button here puts it into, normally it's a soft clipping circuit. You push that one there, it puts it into hard clipping, moves the diodes around in the circuit path. Symmetrical, asymmetrical clipping, and then there's this knob here, the diodes knob. I've got a whole series of different sets of diodes underneath there, and you can choose them, and they all have different sounds. They all clip at different points, some silicon, germanium, shot keys, all sorts. And if that craziness wasn't enough, switch it to that position, and then if you grab that little silver box there. So this is a whole series of different types of diodes. It's another lockdown experiment, actually. So there's all sorts of things.
You had a much longer lockdown than we did, or you did a lot more than I did.
Well, I like to be busy. That's just me generally. But yeah, there's all sorts of different diodes and some transistors in there. There were wires, diodes. I think this.
So you just take them out, plug it in
there, and you can just experiment with sound. I think this is one of my favorite ones. Is this? Diodes are not normally that big. Diodes are like that sort of size normally, and this one's, you know, huge. It's a giant old Russian thing, and if you look carefully, you probably won't get it on camera, but if you look carefully, there's actually some Cyrillic text on that with the model number of the diode.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, you know. You can just kind of experiment with things, and it's not like Marshall to Vox to Fender. It's not huge changes like that, but yeah, it's.
But you can get your own individual, completely unique sound.
That's really what things are about here. You know, like I want it to be this inspiring, creative environment. Yeah, where things are unique. So yeah.
So checking out the live room.
So this is live room A. This is the largest of the two spaces. As you'll see, easily enough space for an entire band in here.
Great. And you built all of this yourself?
Yep, that's exactly correct. So the floor system, the wall systems, and the ceiling systems were all designed by an acoustician guy named Jeff Hedback. He's in Indiana, I think it is. He's done, by this time, 2025, he's done probably over 500 studios or something by now. He's a lot of spaces. Yeah, he's great. And lovely to work with as well. So yeah, like I said, he designed all the different systems. Floors floating, of course. The front walls on the two live rooms and control room 1 are floated as well. And you'll notice as well, see where the roof is. See where the roof is and where the ceiling is. It's quite a gap in there. Now that is this is actually acoustically transparent fabric. So the ceiling system is basically a sandwich of different densities of rock wool and fiberglass with perforated hardboard between them, and it forms a broadband absorber that's effective all the way down to 50 hertz. So we have a lot of most of the acoustic treatment is baked into the room without having to be visually obtrusive.
But you still got it live enough to have a drum kit feel good in there, yeah.
Absolutely. And then, well, this is why I designed these variable acoustic treatments. So you've got absorption on this side, and then spin them around, and you've got diffusion on the other. So you can really tailor the sound of the room to whatever you're recording. It's exactly, you can do combinations, do whatever you like to tailor the sound. So if we're doing like a really tight drum sound, we'll often have them the other way around with absorption. Big, more open sort of drum sound, whether it might be rock or something like that. We'll go for the diffuse side. Yeah,
very nice. And you got a nice array of amps here.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of cover the bases, but have some unusual sort of things.
What is this?
This is a load box that I built. So you've got there's 2 different modes in there. So you can run. There's actually a speaker inside it as well. I got a speaker, pulled the cone off it, and it's suspended inside there. So it's a reactive type plus the usual resistive type as well. So
amazing,
it's great. It's
another one of your lockdown projects.
Yeah, somewhere around that period. I don't know if that was during lockdown. That might have been sometime after that. But yeah, most of these amps here I've modified in some way or another.
And while we're here, this is what you can remotely control, yes?
Exactly, yeah. So this is, I affectionately call it the Robo mic. Basically, you've got X and Y axis here. Put your microphone on there, and then through this, the Cat5 cable runs over to the joystick we saw in control room 2 earlier. And yeah, you can move it around.
Where did you find the information to do this?
It's many years of experience. So I've been doing electronics since I was maybe 6 or something, I guess. Probably I've been pulling things apart, like TVs and old VCRs, that sort of thing, from even younger than that. And yeah, it's just been an interest of mine, I guess. So yeah, forever.
Fenders, Bogner.
I rehoused this one. Actually, rehoused both of these. This was a combo here, and then what I'll usually do when I'm recording guitars is we'll bring the heads into control room 2, have them set up on the rack there, and then once it's done like that, you can easily, it's much easier than having to come back and forth, that sort of thing. Also, having the guitarist standing in the live room. Occasionally we'll do it if the guitarist really wants to, but they're able to hear everything, all parts of everything, right in the control room there. So we usually do it that way. And then this is a prototype I've been working on I call it the Auditioner. So guitar plugs in here, runs up to 5 guitar amplifiers. It goes out to the amps and then back into here and out to one of 2 guitar cabinets. So you just instantaneously switch between them. And there's a bunch of safety features in there as well. So if for example, as you know, if you run a tube amp without a load connected, you can damage the output transformer and the output tubes, power tubes. And so you've got a bunch of this is part of the testing rig. A bunch of systems in there designed to avoid any issues. If something gets disconnected, instantly it'll switch off. So it knows, this device knows which sockets are connected at any time, but there's no, the other kind of design goal I had was it had to be 100% pure. No messing with the signal in any way. Whatever comes in is exactly what goes out. The other advantage of monitoring which sockets are connected is you know which amps are in use. So I have, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have this random button. So what random does, these buttons, basically you press them and they light up and it'll show you which one is, which is active. The random button, you press that and it lights up, but all of these go out. But one of them is selected, as you'd expect, at random.
Yep.
You don't know which one it is until you press the same button a second time, at which point this light goes out and whichever one was the active channel lights up for you. So you can, it allows you to make completely unbiased
I like that idea.
judgments on an amp. You get some guys like, oh no, I was like, well, I think for this part you should try this amp. No, I'm a Fender man, It's like, well, okay, sure, I'm happy to use Fender. If you want to do that, that's cool, but can I show you some other options? Okay, but it's going to be the Fender. And you push the random button and you go through and sometimes it's the Fender and often enough it's something else. Like, I wish that's the Fender, right? It's the Fender it's come up. So no, actually it's this one. Like, oh, I really like that amp. And I like it can broaden people's perspective on things as well. Like, I like to think I've got a pretty open mind on things. And so I love it. I love it seeing when other people have this like, there's other things that are great as well. So yeah, there's a bunch of different things here. This is a cool little amp. So this is a ferrograph. So my good friend Alex O'Donovan told me about these. This is a tube reel-to-reel tape machine. So this was considered a portable tape machine. So this is a piece of like BBC gear basically. You can lift it up in a second and see how crazy.
I can actually.
You can probably.
Yeah, that's right? Heavy.
Yeah, and it's got a.
But it's movable, so it's portable.
Yeah, it's technically portable. Yeah, it's not bolted to the ground. That's true. And it's got this little speaker in it. It's all tube, and it sounds awesome. It's it's a really cool bit of gear. I've got some mods in mind for it at the moment. I've started them, and I'll get around to it. Basically, there's 3 gain stage tubes in there, plus the power outputs tubes. So I'm going to put a rotary switch, so it'll be basically you go through 1 gain stage for clean, overdrive, and then distortion. And I've tested in all those modes and it sounds rad. So it sounds great as it is, but I just want to do the extra things to be able to, make it more flexible. As you can probably see, that's making things as flexible and as possible here is kind of another passion of mine.
The Colesborough amp.
Yeah.
Because these were like pretty much the only thing I could afford when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And bands, we'd have, people would have Colesborough and HH as well.
Yes, yep. This thing is really cool. So it's the Stingray lead. This was made in the 80s. It's basically it's a very similar design to the they did one in the 70s, which I had, was a combo amp. When I picked up the Fender Twin, I ended up selling that one only because I had this one. If I didn't have this one, I absolutely would have kept it because the sound is fantastic. So you've got this particular one's got a bit of extra gain. So this is called the Stingray. I have an orange amp too. This one's called the Stingray lead, and so you've got low gain, high gain inputs there. Parametric mids is great, and it's got this really crazy thing called SUZ, which you would think means fuzz, but is actually a distortion circuit.
I had the pedal.
Oh, you had it?
SUZ pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was fuzz sustain, SUZ.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like a fuzz at all. I don't care what it sounds like. It sounds great. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, at the time, I didn't think, because all I could afford, and I think I bought it used, and I wanted a Boss, DS1 or an ODR1 or something like that. So, but of course I went online and found the pedal, and the pedal's like hundreds of pounds now because of course it's vintage, but at the time it was like, Yeah, but you're right. It's totally unique. So now, of course, it's, you know, a sound that not many people have.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And even without the SUS circuit, the normal gain stage on this is just great. It's really cool. We don't use the second channel. It's obviously got like a clean in channel on it. If I'm doing cleans, it'll either be the twin or...
Well, our whole band would plug through one of these.
Yeah, exactly. 100 watt amp in it. It's more than enough juice to do that, at least in a small band room. So
amazing. Yeah. What are these mic stands?
So what's the bit on a mic stand that always breaks and gives you the most frustration? The knuckle part, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, well,
because people forget to undo it and they just move it.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you're careful with them over time, they just die. So these are called grip heads. And these are what the film industry uses. So on a film set, you might see a box of 100 of them just hanging around, and they use them for anything and everything. And yeah, they're brilliantly made. You'll see that's like not washers in there, but actual roller bearings. You see that? See the needle bearings in there?
Yeah.
So yeah, every part of these is over-engineered to be able to last. Last on a film set. You know, the last thing you need is something breaking on a film set. And yeah, you put it where you want, and that's where it stays.
That's incredible.
Little mic stand.
So when we were in there, you said to me, actually,
let's grab this.
And but actually, as I'm talking about this, I can't help but notice this little laney. Is that tube?
No, this is a little solid state one. The funny thing was with this, someone had it, I think, in Facebook Marketplace or something, and it was very cheap. Spoke to the lady and she said, you know, it's not a tube amp, right? I said, yeah, that's okay, it's fine. This is when I was kind of building up the collection here. And she said, but it's got a green speaker in it. I was like, okay, great. This is £50. Wow. I got this thing for. So I know the greenback's at least 130 or something. I think at least 120. So, and this is a 1977 one, which has now gone into this cabinet. So actually, there's another thing possibly worth mentioning. All of these 2x12 cabs have different speakers in them. It's not two of the same. Now, when you're doing live, yes, you probably want them all the same. But in the studio, I want the range. I want a palette of different colors. You know, so there's all sorts. There's like vintage 30s. There's the T75. There's a Fane speaker on that one, and then the Fender Custom, I think they call it. Yeah, and there's an Eminence in that one. Greenback's there, and yeah, and the T75's in that one. So yeah, just being able again to have just a range of different colors available. You know, rather than having 10 quad boxes hanging around. We're at spaces at a premium in London, of course. So yeah, trying to use the spaces as well as efficiently as possible. So yeah,
that's great. Yes, Dave Jordan had a Marshall 412 with 4 different speakers in it, and that's a good way. Same thing to quickly change tones and stuff.
Yeah, and after a while, you get to know which is like, oh, and that sort of sound, we're going for that sound. Okay, we'll go top left or bottom right or whatever it is. Yeah.
So what's the trick with this?
Right. So. Well, you can hang on to that for a second. So you'll see up here, some little brackets, funny little microphone brackets.
Yeah.
And then this sits here. And when you're recording drums, you can set it so it's just away from the wall, so it's not touching. And you have stereo PZM mics.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It's a really great way to capture a sound of the room, and it often makes things sound big, even bigger than they are. It's I love it. It's I remember experimenting with it and a while ago. I mean, usually what I would do is I just have it on a normal stand and then just inch it closer to the wall so it's as close as possible without touching.
But this is less stands, and exactly. When you've got lots of people in
one
here,
place, and it's out of the way, and
incredible.
No, similar sort of thing. So you have a look, you'll see these 1,
oh wow,
3, 4 around the walls.
Wow.
And then there's another one in the center there. Move the snare drum rack out of the way for a second. And you see, made these poles up. Right. So we thread our drapes onto this.
Yeah.
Hook it up there.
Incredible. You're a very ingenious man, my friend.
You can cordon off the room. Like if we're doing a really tight drum sound, then I'll have the diffusers back, the treatments on the absorptive side, and then put the curtain around like this, and it's a heavy velvet drape, and so yeah, it really gets a really very controlled sound, and you can do, once you have that controlled sound, you can do whatever you want with it. And yeah, we do a lot of drum recording here at Puzzle Factory, and I've got this kit's a Brady fiberglass kit. Now the drummers watching will probably be salivating at this point, because there are very few Brady drum kits. Mr. Brady was famous for drums, but he made a lot of snare drums. So many, maybe 15 years ago or something, he decided he wasn't going to make kits anymore. He's like, I'm only making snare drums. He's quite old. I'm not sure if he's still alive at the moment, but hopefully he is. But nonetheless, he decided he didn't want to be doing full kits anymore. He's just going to make snare drums. Brady snares are quite well regarded by drummers everywhere. And yeah, this is a kit which is, I believe this one was mid 80s. I got it from a guy who was sponsored by, endorsed, I should say, by Brady. For many years, and it's fiberglass, so it weighs a ton. It weighs a ton, but it sounds like it weighs a ton as well. It's a beautiful thick sound, and yeah. Most of the time you ever see somebody like somebody walking with a bass drum. Bass drum looks big and heavy, but it's empty, right? And so, big tough guy carrying it all on your own. Actually, it's light. It doesn't weigh anything. This bass drum weighs as much as you think a bass drum should weigh purely by size. Yeah, and then just a few different snare drums down there, just a few options. I'm working on building a couple of my own, but that's one of the too many projects. It
seems like you're a very busy man.
Yeah, especially with two kids. I'm generally very, very busy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it. It's yeah, if I think of an idea for something, I at least want to try it out, see if it's good. And some ideas don't work. You try it and it's like, actually that doesn't sound good, or it doesn't work well, or whatever it is, and you bin the idea, or you come up with a better way to do it.
So where to now?
Off to Live Room B.
Excellent. So you've got another control room in here, which you...
That's right, long let control room, that's right.
Yeah. Are all the rooms tie-lined?
Yes, everything goes everywhere basically. Yeah, even if I needed to do, I think I've got 6 lines down to control room 1. So if I ever needed to do some vocal thing or piano thing while there's a session going in control room 2, then it's all possible. So
I say, yeah, we can...
Giant solid block in there with a whole lot of insulation in there, but yeah, obviously it pulls out of there for sessions. Yeah, it's, as you can see, nice big windows, good clear line of sight all the way back to the control room. Everyone can see each other. Got this gorgeous Fatsa piano here.
Lovely. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I got it at a crazy price. No one wants to know how little I paid for it. It was silly. And then this is a 40-something-year-old piano, so at some point it had moths in it, so I pulled it out, stripped the whole thing down, like literally every single key. I've got footage of it, which is someday I'll end up editing together, stripping the whole action down, rebuilding it, and it's pretty nice. I like it.
Lovely. JCM 800 combo I see here.
Yep, solid amp, solid tones. We all know, the sound we all know and love. Cool, should we head over to control room 1?
Let's do that. Josh Hills, our mutual friend, did say to me, he's a bit of an inventor. So now I see what he means. Great, so this is your mix/mastering suite?
Yeah, that's right. This is where I spend most of my time, that's right.
Fantastic. Speakers again, are they the same models or bigger models?
This is the big brother of the ones we saw in the other, and these are the Duntech Princess. And the same three-way 5-driver array, but with larger drivers. I believe it was early 90s. I think that's the vintage of these. And these are running on 2 Hypex monoblock amps.
Right.
And they are Class D as well. Yep. Designed by the one.
And you've had them for ages, so you know them inside and out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember I had ATCs. I've saved all. I started, as we all do, on some basic bookshelf speakers, basically, and I'd heard a pair of ATCs, and I just loved them. I was like, wow, I can just hear all this detail, and so I saved and bought myself a set of ATCs, which I loved. and they were my staples for a long time. And then one day I went down to mastering studio Jack the Bear in Melbourne, Australia, with a whole bunch of projects and for mastering for the day. And he had a pair of the Duntech Princess, and we start, as is always a good practice, by listening to some reference tracks. And I put on reference tracks that I thought I knew inside out, back to front. Put them on, and I'm sitting there and just like, wow, I've never heard these. Even on ATCs, which are amazing speakers, it's like, I have never heard these parts in these songs before. It was almost like, are you playing me a different version of the song? It's the same one, but there was all this extra detail. And yeah, I love them. The linearity, the left to right matching. These are flat to 38 hertz. So flat to 38, that's 0 dB. They roll off from there. So it's it's pretty incredible. And the room was custom designed for these speakers by Jeff Hedback. So yeah, he designed it to the millimeter, and we built it to the millimeter with, I say we, me and a couple of friends built it with these hands here. So.
Amazing. I was noticing all this at the back. I love it. I love the color coordination.
Thank you. Yeah, the QRD took a very long time to cut and paint to get every single one the exact same, the exact dimensions they needed to be. And I think it was 4 coats of red.
You've done an amazing job in the studio.
Thank you so much.
And you've sort of no stone left unturned. You've like, what's this? I mean, I'm looking here.
We want a blind, I mean, in like Live Room A, we do some filming sometimes. People will come in and do stuff, and we do complete blackout in there as well. So, it's handy to be able to do that. As your cameraman will agree, being able to control lighting's very important.
Yeah, it's just absolutely wonderful. Everything about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. And how long have you been here now?
So I got the keys to an empty space in October 2016. So yeah, it took about 14 months to build. I was working 6-7 days a week straight for 14 months, no holidays. Usually,
so you're up and running mid-late sort of 2018?
17, yeah.
17,
so,
oh great, okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So
my math is a little bit off.
No, 18's right, but that was when we got it all finished. But so we focused, because I still had projects. So I'd run a studio in Australia for 15 years, as I mentioned, and I'd still had projects that were coming in from Australia for mixing. And not just Australia, all over the place. And I needed a space to be able to do that, because it's like, all right, guys, I'm going to take a bit of time, stop doing projects, I'm just going to work on building the studio. And then for a bunch of reasons, the build dragged on longer than I'd expected, which, talk to anyone who's ever built anything, it always does. Even when you plan that into it, it was at that point, it's like, I need to get a room operational. So we got Control Room 1 operational, and I was able to at least get a bit of mixing done that way, mixing and mastering done. So. Yeah, it didn't have all the aesthetic, the cosmetic kind of niceties that it has now, but it was a fully functional room at least to be able to kind of step up to that. So.
Incredible. Well, thanks for showing us around.
My absolute pleasure. It's been my absolute pleasure.
Thanks
for coming, Warren.
So, of course, there will be a link down below to the Puzzle Factory where you can check out more. Thanks, everyone, for watching. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adios, goodbye.
Bye.